Despite the fact Pope Francis will only spend one day in New York City, there's a lot of planning that has to be made. Due to his experience with the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops as the Director of Ecumenical and Interreligious Affairs, Brooklyn Auxiliary Bishop James Massa was asked to play a role in the scheduling.
Yeah, a number of months ago, I was approached by Cardinal Dolan to assist in the Interreligious meeting that the Holy Father would be having with representatives of the major religious communities of New York City. So finally it was determined, probably back in April, that the Pope would be visiting the September 11th Memorial and Museum, where he will meet with 400 representatives of 6 of the major religious traditions represented here in New York City.
Although the centerpiece for the Pope's visit is the World Meeting of Families in Philadelphia, Bishop Massa believes Pope Francis will extend his theme of family while delivering his address in New York, calling for unity between religious communities.
When it comes to other religions, I think he may well say that we have to help all of the followers of our respective religious traditions to begin thinking of themselves as part of a larger human family, maybe to be less tribal and more global in our thinking, because this has consequences for everything from conflict resolution around the world to creating the conditions for a more healthy environment.
The bishop also imagines that when Pope Francis is in New York on September 25th, the Holy Father will recall history made a half-century ago.
This is an anniversary year in the life of the Catholic Church. 50 years ago, Pope Paul VI came to the United States for a one-day visit, during which he gave an impassioned plea for peace at the United Nations, a famous speech, "War never again, war never again," Pope Paul VI said before the General Assembly. That was 50 years ago. 50 years ago was the last session of the Second Vatican Council, that historic meeting of the world's bishops that sought to address the challenges to the Church posed by the modern world. So when the Pope goes to the September 11th Memorial and Museum, he has these two events in the background as he invites representatives of other religions to begin to encourage a mindset among their followers that we are a human family, and that when decisions are made in one country, in the global perspective, they have consequences for people around the world, whether it has to do with technology, environmental stewardship, or resolving conflicts between nations and groups within a society.
So while we wait in anticipation for the Pope's arrival, Bishop Massa expects the Holy Father to call for peace in this troubling world. Reporting for Currents, I'm Tim Harfmann.